Firstly, before starting this video, I want to send a huge thank you to all the TSA workers. Right now, we all know that y'all are going through a tough time, and it's very unfortunate as to what is going on right now and how you all are being impacted. To everyone that's traveling a lot right now, have patience and have grace because you see what's going on. So understand that it's regular people right now that are working, they're getting paid, and they barely have enough to pay their bills right now with everything going on in the economy. So imagine the TSA employees showing up to work and they're not getting paid, and they haven't been getting paid, and they're doing their best to have a good attitude. So I just wanted to share that Congress needs to get their stuff together, but let's go ahead and get into the video.
Many in our workforce have missed bill payments, received eviction notices, had their cars repossessed and utilities shut off, lost their childcare, defaulted on loans, damaged their credit line, and drained their retirement savings. Some are sleeping in their cars, selling their blood and plasma, and taking on second jobs to make ends meet, all while being expected to perform at the highest level when in uniform to protect the traveling public. A transportation security officer at Reagan National Airport recently said, "I just want Congress to pay me for the job I am doing."
And that's a fair ask. Pay them for the job that they're doing. It's so crazy. Obviously, money is not everything, but it's a tool and a resource that everyone needs, right? It gives everyone options to do what they want to do for themselves. It gives you the option to pay your rent, an option to pay your car note, an option to pay for childcare. But people are having to default on loans and drain their savings. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Let's get into it.
Day 30 of the government shutdown. Currently driving to work. I can honestly say this is probably the most humiliating feeling ever. Driving to work, burning your gas, your resources to protect people, and you're not really respected, and you're surviving with no pay, but you're showing up to work every day. You know, I don't really speak much about my personal life or whatever, but I can tell you, people around me are suffering. They're suffering big time. I'm just fortunate enough to be in a position where I can still kind of maintain right now. But as far as others, people have been evicted, you know, people running up credit cards, getting loans. Mind you, the last government shutdown was 43 days, and people are still recovering from that shutdown, and now we're still...
You know how hard it is for people to try to recover for a big financial whatever. The last government shutdown was for 43 days. 43 days. And then imagine trying to clean up this and that, people calling your phone, looking for money, and you like, I'm doing the best I can, or you got to dip and dodge them because stuff is so backed up. And then you start getting money and things are trying to come together, and then they have another government shutdown.
Facing another one, day 30. The people that are still recovering from the loans and the credit card payments, now they're forced to try to do more loans.
I do think that it is very unfortunate that these people are being humiliated like this. I wouldn't advocate for anybody to have to suffer like this. And aside from the fact that Democrats are holding up Homeland Security payments and TSA workers are quitting literally by the hundreds. Over 300 TSA agents have quit their jobs, and a lot of them are calling off because they just DoorDash and Uber Eats, trying to do gig work, trying to figure out how they're going to.
I don't blame them. Shoot, rent due on the 1st.
Survive. This is pure negligence on Congress, who controls the purse strings of the United States of America, whose main job is to ensure that the government is funded and that people get paid, especially ones that depend on their paychecks that work for the United States of America. And they're only doing it because they saying that they want oversight over illegal migrants getting deported from the United States of America. How negligent, how stupid have our Democrat Congress people, and they just need to be ousted, man. Seriously, they need to have, if there's anything more than we need on the federal government, it is term limits on Congress.
Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Put some term limits on them, because they probably sitting around collecting the check, twiddling their thumbs, and these people are out here in a really important role to keep us all protected and safe. Get them out of here. Like, these people probably been in those positions for entirely too long, just doing what they want.
Members, because they are just in there still getting a paycheck, and that's the worst part. They're still getting paid, while at the same time our TSA workers who keep people safe are not getting paid a dime. Now,
it's
one
so
thing
crazy.
I am wondering
it's
about
insane.
this, guys.
Wow, look at this
the
airport.
TSA line. The line where you get your ID and boarding pass checked is all the way up there.
So I believe I did see her post this one again, or someone else, but they said this is Houston's airport, Bush IH airport.
It comes around here, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. It snakes through here, but then you have to take the escalator over there down to the baggage claim downstairs, and that's how you end up down here. Right now, according to that board, it says that the wait is 150 minutes. Not sure if that's...
That is given. Don't travel if y'all don't have to travel. Don't travel if y'all don't have to travel. That's what it's given.
accurate.
I need to say something about TSA and their workers. Everybody over here is complaining about the long lines and all of that. I want you guys to think about something. TSA employees are not getting paid because of the partial shutdown. I want you to keep in mind how much normally these employees are getting paid. The average salary for a TSA officer is between $46,000 to $55,000. They start off, so their beginning salary is $34,454. Okay?
This is my side note. Why is it that professions that are dire for us, that are super important, they do not get paid well? I understand she's saying they're the underdog, like probably like bottom of the totem pole in all the positions you can hold within the government. But it's like so many different professions where people are teaching kids how to read. Teachers, they get paid once a month. They don't get paid a lot. Police officers, they put their lives on the line, and they don't get paid a lot. It's just certain professions I would expect for people to get paid more.
Deal with all y'all heifers, ain't no way in hell. However, they're already, with the economy, in my opinion, depending on their spouse, depending on how much their spouse makes, can be living paycheck to paycheck already. Between daycare, between clothes, between groceries, between gas, all of these things. Not to mention, when you get hired by TSA, it is hell going through that background check because of the clearance that they have to do. Now, imagine this. You go to deal with the lines upon lines of people that are still getting paid. You're not getting paid. You're now unable to purchase groceries. You now may be evicted from your apartment. Because let's be clear about something. A lot of people want to be like, oh my God, you can't get evicted that quickly. Let me tell you something. If the rent is due the 1st, by day 3, they can put an eviction notice. And then you are stuck with the late fees and everything. I don't know if landlords and apartment complexes or even mortgages are working with them and making exceptions. What I do know is the stress that these people are under. There was someone being interviewed saying that some people couldn't come into work because they have no money for gas, that they have to proceed to take the last money that they had to be able to buy groceries for their children. And the fact of the matter is that the last time there was a shutdown, they were being threatened if they didn't come into work. So you got to come into work free. And I will say this, there is a lot of value and appreciation and kind of arrangements for the military, rightfully so. But TSA is literally the underdog in all of this. Literally not making six figures, which I know our military, unless you're an officer, all that crap, I get it. But these are people that also should be taken care of, in my opinion. I believe that the government should fork over that check to TSA agents.
Agreed.
Because at this point, they just don't have any responsibility. It's just not like someone, let me wipe down this counter. They're making sure that our country stays safe, that you are safe in that airplane, in that airport, and they are treated like the bottom of the barrel. I can't even imagine what they're going through. And it breaks my heart, the lack of compassion, people pissed off because of the lines. Suck it the hell up. You have the money to go travel. You have the money to go somewhere. While TSA may not even be able to buy themselves a lunch that day. They may be hungry having to tend to you because you're going on vacation and you're getting to go travel. Have some compassion, and something needs to be done, because it is unfair that TSA, literally the underdog, has to pay for the decisions that our government makes.
I agree with her 1,000%. 1,000%. It's just unfortunate, honestly, but definitely sending prayers out to all the TSA employees with everything going on. And then the government had the audacity to bring ICE in to help with the flow in the airports and everything, because the shortage of TSA employees that are not showing up to work, that quit, or whatever the case is. I'm like, ICE isn't even properly trained the same way a TSA agent would be trained. They just ready to take somebody out that looks like they don't belong. But all right, y'all, we gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But I did come across this, and it says the top 15 U.S. airports with the longest TSA wait lines. At the recording of this video, this is March 26th. Today's March 26th. This one says March 19th, so may not be as accurate at this point. It could have gotten better. Y'all comment down below. Let me know if y'all been traveling. And y'all just be safe. Get to the airport super early. They're saying, at least 4 hours early. Get there as early as you can. I think the TSA lines open up at around 4 a.m. So get there pretty early. But they said Houston Hobby Airport, 3.5 hours is very extreme. Atlanta, the major cities, Atlanta, 1 hour and 13 minutes. New Orleans, 2+ hours. Houston, IH, 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours, and so on and so forth. So y'all be mindful, y'all be patient, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.